I found an article, so I'm going to read it. So you know about the big, beautiful bill that came out last week? People are not happy about it at all. It ain't all good. It ain't all bad. It is what it is, right? All right. So the big, beautiful bill, though, treats single parents differently. Oh, no. Oh, no. You're trying to tell me that the single mamas, not that it has to be women, of course. It could be anybody. But the single people are being treated differently. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? A buried provision in the big, beautiful bill, oh no, penalizes single parents who receive SNAP or food stamps as compared to households headed by married couples. Oh no. Oh no. Do you think anybody read through this? And you think anybody read through all this to find this out, right? Why it matters. The provision is part of a new stricter SNAP work requirement included in the bill, which are the first of their kind. Advocates for the disadvantaged say these proposed changes to the program will result in millions of Americans losing vital assistance. So basically, parents of children ages 7 to 17 must work 80 hours a month in order to qualify for SNAP benefits. Ain't that 20 hours? 2, 4, 6. That's 20. Goodbye. That's 20 hours a week. That's 20 hours a week. But in households where parents are married, only one has to work. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. You're trying to tell me that if you're married, only one person has to work while the other person is at home, maybe taking care of kids, taking care of the house. Oh, this is racist. This is a racist. How are they going to do this? Donald Trump, you are something else. You and all the rest of them. That means single parents with kids as young as 8 must work, while people who are married to a working adult don't have to. Stay single. Oh, gentlemen, crust dust must rust ashes. This is another way that you're gonna have all these women available to you. So now you can get married and they can stay at home. I be trying to help y'all. I'll be here trying to help y'all. Shout out to Switchblade. I see you, boo. Shout out to everyone that is here. Please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. I'm giving you the real information. We can trust Axios, right? Let me go back in case y'all missed it, okay? There's a small provision in the big, beautiful bill that may hinder single persons, all right? Basically, parents of children ages 7 to 17 must work 80 hours a month in order to qualify for SNAP EBT food stamps. But in household where parents are married, only one has to work. That means single parents with kids as young as 8 must work, while people who are married to a working adult don't have to. 80% of single parent households are headed by mothers. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. I didn't even say this. This is the freaking article. Oh, no. Oh, 80%. 80% of single parent households are headed by mothers, and that is per the census data. Ain't nobody pulling this shit out of their asses. They're looking at the data that has been presented to us. Homeless people, veterans, pregnant women, and those under 18 or over 64 are also exempt from the work requirement. Oh, so then that means they'll just keep getting pregnant. Allegedly. Wow. What they're saying, subjecting a single mom to have to go to work while the mom who's married down the street doesn't have to, really shines the light on how inequitable and unfair this is, says Ed Boland, a senior policy analyst at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. So in other words, because you chose to be married, you should suffer like the whore that chose not to be married and wanted to have a bunch of daggone kids and then wanted the government to help them, to feed them, to clothe them, to house them. So we back to this being equitable again. So because it's not fair, because she got a whole husband, child, where yours at? Why didn't you get one? I don't know who I'm talking to. Girl, where your husband at? What happened? Why you didn't get one? Why you got all these kids and you ain't got no husband? You ain't got no man. Everybody crust dust, rust must, ashy ass bums. But here you are, a bum looking for a handout. Make it make sense. Where that baby daddy at? You know we're not allowed to ask those questions. Wow. This is all Donald Trump's fault. I already know. The provision seems to acknowledge that some parents are not able to work while taking care of school-age children, says Carolyn Vega, Director of Policy, but only extends that understanding to a certain type of parent. Guess what? We're not all the same. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, okay? All parents are not the same. We're not all the same. It is what it is. If you're married, then you could have one person in the couple as a stay-at-home parent. Where do they do that at? And only one person has to work, she says. But if you're in any other kind of household arrangement, then everyone needs to be meeting the work requirements. Well, I be damned. Finally, a benefit to persons who are married. Now, if you're working, the odds are that you probably make too much money. But if you're one of the ones that don't, and you're doing this together and you're working and you got whoever at home, whichever way that it works, and you getting the assistance, whatever, have at it. But I can hear it already starting to bubble up. It's not fair. It's discriminatory against single parents. Well, don't be a single parent. No shade to any single parents here. I'm just saying. Enough of the people that we see, which we're about to take a look at some TikToks, clearly are doing this on purpose and by choice. But we're supposed to have all the empathy and sympathy for y'all? Yeah, no. We don't do that over here. If a parent loses food benefits, their children still would receive SNAP, but that doesn't mean kids escape unscathed from this provision. If an adult loses SNAP, food benefits still drop for their entire household. All right, I'm not really sure what that means, but the bottom line is that it looks like they're trying to say that maybe if you're married, you could get more of a benefit. We ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But what do I know? Let me see. What's this one from? This is from 4 days ago. I'm not sure what city this is from. But it says millions of low-income families could lose food stamp benefits. Oh, no.
A new analysis found millions of low-income Americans could lose their food stamp benefits, according to a Congressional Budget Office report. The possibility is because of a newly passed tax and spending cuts package by House Republicans. The analysis adds some families could also see smaller monthly amounts of food stamp assistance. The new legislation would provide trillions of dollars in tax cuts. The move would slash federal support for the food stamp program known as SNAP and Medicaid in order to offset the costs. However, the package is expected to undergo multiple changes in the Senate. Arizona Senators Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego, as well as Representative Greg Stanton, responding to those proposed cuts today, saying it could take food off the tables of hundreds of thousands of Arizonans.
Okay, so this is Arizona, fine. And they always want to go with it could take away, it could take away, it could take away. I know you're tired of hearing me say this. You know that this shit is a supplement. That means you got to be bringing something to the table. These MFers don't even bring 2 damn cents. Y'all remember the dude? You remember in New York 2 years ago where the girl was in there trying to use her EBT card to buy some fucking potato chips that can't cost $1. They can't cost $1, but she was trying to use the SNAP. It wouldn't go through. She thought that the person behind the counter in the bodega was supposed to just give it to her kid because it's her kid, of course. And then she went and called the boyfriend, and he came in and started attacking the dude. And then the bodega dude took him out on up out of here. And then it was a big to-do. But the point is that you so busy trying to use the card that you wouldn't even think to take out 50 cents. Neither one of you idiots thought to take out 50 cents, because it couldn't have been more than that, to go and say, here, and buy that shit for your kid. You were such a bum that you had to then try to act like it's somebody else's fault because you couldn't afford, let's say $1. Let's give it $1. You couldn't even report $1 or spend $1 on your own damn kid. But everybody else is supposed to give a damn about you and your kid. That's what we're saying around here? Nah, that's not what we're saying around here. Take care of your own effing kids. And what's the limit? That's the other thing. Can we get a time limit on this shit? Is it just going to be forever? It's just going to last forever. It just never stops until the end of time. Shout out to Justin Timberlake. When does it stop? There needs to be a time limit, just like it needs to be a time limit for Section 8 and so many other things. But come on, child. What else?
In Arizona, more than 920,000 people rely on SNAP to help afford groceries. More than 70% of those receiving assistance are children, older adults, or people with disabilities. In a statement, Senator Kelly said, quote, "This plan raises costs and takes food away from the people who need it most. Kids who rely on school meals, parents trying to stretch every dollar, and seniors choosing between groceries and medicine. Cutting that support just to give rich people another tax break is cruel. And we're going."
Why they always say it's always something to do with rich people, not saying that they don't get no benefit. Well, maybe the state needs to get in there and start saying, child, we need to make sure that we give these benefits as the priority, people who are 64 and older, or whatever the age cutoff is, instead of tramps under the age of 25. No shade. I'm just saying. People that's just having baby after baby after baby, coming out here spider makeup and weaved up, nails longer than this fucking hat on my head. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just always saying this, do something about it. This shit is almost over anyway.